Good afternoon, I'm Will Most, and this is a UI7 News Update. After its introduction last Thursday, the Green New Deal, a plan to combat climate change, has met much opposition this week. The plan, drafted by freshman Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, came under fire over a bullet point on a blog post which promised financial welfare for all who are unable or unwilling to work. Conservatives were quick to jump on the diction of unwilling, labeling the bill as socialism. Others, such as Starbucks CEO and possible 2020 presidential candidate Howard Schultz, called the plan unreasonable. President Donald Trump also criticized the plan at a campaign rally in El Paso on Tuesday.
Last week, they introduced a massive government takeover that would destroy our incredible economic gains. They introduced the so-called Green New Deal.
While Trump opposes the new legislation, many of the Democrats who are gearing up for a 2020 presidential race have expressed their support for the bill. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell plans to force a vote on the bill soon. 7 women have come forward to claim that singer-songwriter Ryan Adams used offers of musical success as means to solicit sexual favors. Adams befriended young female musicians, in one instance as young as 14, with the promise of helping their careers. In the case of then 14, now 20-year-old bassist the New York Times referred to as Ava, Adams pivoted away from the musical mentorship and onto sexting. Adams repeatedly asked Ava her age, and despite never seeming confident that she was the age of consent, he continued to send sexual texts, committing a felony. He seemed to have some awareness of this, sending texts that said, "I would get in trouble if someone knew we talked like this." As you can read for yourself, he texted more explicit sexting to the young lady, including the last text where he compared himself to R. Kelly. Adams' sexual misconduct was not limited to just Ava. 4 women described their experiences where Adam offered collaborations, record deals, or touring opportunities with sexual solicitation following shortly after. When denied or ignored, Adams was verbally abusive. While Adams and his lawyer dispute much of the New York Times reporting, yesterday he tweeted that he is not a perfect man and that he apologizes deeply and unreservedly to anyone he has hurt. Taking a look at this weekend's weather, it's pretty lovely out today, 47 degrees. It'll dip lower into 16 tonight and get colder into tomorrow. Friday is going to be the worst day of the next 3. It's about 27 degrees. Saturday, it's looking up a little bit more, 34 degrees, less clouds. You might see the sun peeking out. It'll be pretty lovely. I would say go outside if you got some free time on that day. After an eventful NBA trade deadline, some NBA players will get a few days off to catch their breath. Others, however, will head to Charlotte to compete in All-Star Weekend. The main event, of course, is the All-Star Game, where Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James will face off with the teams they drafted last Thursday. Other events to look out for are the fan-favorite three-point contest, which will feature 2-time MVP Steph Curry and his little brother, Seth. While the slam dunk contest doesn't have many big names, the contest usually provides one young player a springboard towards future stardom. When one Houston resident snuck into a seemingly abandoned house to smoke weed, he was shocked to find that the house actually had a resident, a 1,000-pound tiger. Upon finding the tiger, the concerned citizen called the Houston Police Department, who had to sedate and transport the tiger to a more humane habitat than the undersized cage it was living in. The tiger was momentarily housed by Bark Animal Shelter, then transported to an animal sanctuary. He's now experiencing more humane conditions and seemingly enjoying the grass underneath his paws.
A long trip up here, but he seems to be adjusting well into our environment, and we'll keep an eye on him, and we'll introduce him into a larger facility as soon as he's cleared his quarantine procedures.
That's an amazing story I first heard about through my Twitter feed a couple days ago. To hear more interesting stories like that, you can check more of our stories by following us on social media through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. What a story. That's all I have for this UI7 News Update. Thanks for watching. If you can, go outside and enjoy this lovely weather, or stay tuned for our next news update with host Chanel Newsome. She's got some great stories about 21 Savage and others. For UI7 News, I'm Will Most. Stay tuned for our Valentine's Day show at 5. It's going to be great. It's hosted by Stephen Cohn and Emily Steinmetz. I'm looking forward to it, and you should be too. Once again, for UI7 News, I'm Will Most. Have a lovely day.